In this video, we will be attempting to drive the MG for the first time. Then, we will inspect underneath the car to see if this project is even worth it. You're watching Dr. Fixit's MGB Restoration Episode 2. With the car only able to run with the choke fully on, let's get this baby rolling. Did I mention I really suck at driving a stick shift? Top down is a must for this first drive, plus I was smart enough to wear a long sleeve shirt in the summer. There are a few things you should know about this first drive. 1. The disc and drum brakes were not working. That's because, well, they weren't. So I had to use the handbrake the entire time. Also, although I could steer it to the left and to the right, after the first test drive, that was no longer the case. More on that in another video. I was just excited to drive it for the first time. I definitely didn't feel safe taking it out on the regular road, so the driveway would suffice. Switching between the handbrake and the shifter was pretty hard. A day or two later, a few of my neighbors came out and congratulated me on getting it to drive for the first time. One of them was a mechanic, and he was even impressed. This was the first time I had ever done something like this before. It felt good, and it gave me confidence to keep moving forward. I'm pulling it around to the back of the house where it's going to sit while I work on it. The back porch happens to be wide and covered, perfect for a little car like this. I wasn't sure how this next part was going to be. Fingers crossed, I began to drive it up on the back porch. I knew if I gunned it too hard, I would run straight into the workbench. Little did I know that I would not be driving this car again for another full year. Ugh. Gross. What you're about to witness is me learning a very valuable lesson when buying an old car. If the car has a rubberized undercoating, it's going to really, really stink to take it off. I mean, quite literally, it stank like burning rubber the entire time. I honestly don't know why I even did it. It took me months to do this part. Every time I went out there, I had to give myself a pep talk before doing it. The most popular method I found was to use a heat gun and a paint scraper. That's it. Just those two things. Finishing the first fender encouraged me to keep going. It was hard work, but I knew it was going to look much better after it was done. The undercoating on the back side of the fenders was way too hard to deal with, so I just skipped that. You'd really have to look underneath the car to see it anyway. I tried other methods to remove the undercoating from the car. Here I'm using an air chisel. But after further use, I noticed that I was denting the metal. So I skipped that and just went back to the tried and true method. This stuff was a mess to deal with. Piles and piles and piles of it. It felt like there was no end to the scraping. If we take a closer look at the rear fender, you'll notice that there was one part I didn't get. For some reason, it just wouldn't come off. Plus, because it's tucked underneath the fender, no one's ever really gonna see it. After doing all the wheel wells, I decided I wasn't going to scrape off all of the undercoating. I wanted to get most of it off of the frames and in the spots where I saw some rust coming through in the floor pans. After all the scraping, my brain came up with a great idea of how to make it look a lot smoother when it would be time to paint. A braided grinding wheel did a fantastic job of lifting up the loose rubber as well as smoothing out the surface so that the paint would look a lot better. I'm a stickler for safety. During this whole episode, I wore goggles and a respirator mask to protect me from any and all harmful particles. After inspecting the floor pans, there was quite a bit of rust in them. The most concerning part is right here, on the passenger side. This is not looking good. So I ignored it and kept moving forward. Here I'm applying a solvent to help remove any extra grease or oil left on the panels. After rinsing, I then applied a metal prep which has zinc phosphate in it to help the paint have a strong bond. The paint of choice for this is going to be POR 15 semi-gloss in black. I really liked how well this stuff goes on, although I didn't wait in between coats as long as I should have, so if you do this, make sure you wait at least 2 hours before applying the second coat. And now for some ASMR of painting over disgusting metal. Please enjoy. Oh yeah, that black looks really good. So satisfying. Oh, you want more? Here you go.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more.
Well, that was weird. Anyway, here's the finished product. With this being the first time I had used POR 15, I'm very satisfied. The welded rivet things in this shot look especially cool. Those were covered up before with that nasty undercoating.
Next time on Dr. Fixit's MGB restoration, we taste differential fluid for the first time. Delish.